video, at least for now. I'm not sure if we'll be doing any more in the future.
Because there are still more characters.
But not a whole lot.
But we are actually going to put 2 characters into the last video, but...
Yeah, because it's Hikaru and Kaoru.
Who are twins.
Yeah, so they, a big part of their arc is they start out as, like, basically, like, always together and pretty much one person. But their arc is more about becoming separate people and everything, but we figured it still seemed fitting to give them a shared video, because their arcs are so closely tied together. And we couldn't really talk about one without talking about the other.
Mm-hmm.
So, one video. For people who haven't seen it, I've heard them, and I actually agree with this description, that they've been described as a flirtier version of Fred and George Weasley.
It is true. Plus, they even have red hair.
And brown eyes.
Yeah.
So, like, the way to tell them apart for the most part, when watching the anime or reading the manga, is the way they part their hair.
Mm-hmm.
No, but if that's blocked off, no one but Haruhi can tell them apart.
Which is very funny.
Yeah, they try to trick her early on, but she always gets it, and they like it that she can do that. They like that she recognizes them as 2 different people who she could just tell apart easily.
Mm-hmm.
But their background is they used to be they've grown out of it quite a bit by the time Haruhi meets them, but they're still very much in the mindset of self-centered. They see each other as important and everybody else as kind of like a toy.
Mm-hmm.
Haruhi does not like that, and if she was a more violent person, she would have beaten that out of them. That is my firm belief.
But she has not.
No, she's not very violent. But they, through their interactions with her and the others, they stop seeing the world that way, and just, they become nicer and more conscious of needs of others and, stuff like that. So, one of the things that they did in the host club was play, get the Guess Who's Hikaru game.
Mm-hmm.
They'd put on hats, run around each other, like, so you wouldn't be able to tell who was who anymore,
Mm-hmm.
and then you'd guess who was who, and Haruhi would always win, obviously. So,
at one point, though, they did have this big argument, and they actually dyed their hair blue and pink, I think it was.
But it was all an act. They were faking it because they wanted Haruhi to invite them to her house.
Yes.
Although, like, they act like they won, but they didn't actually win because she said, "I'll never do it at this rate," and they're like, "Ha! We won. You've invited us," but she really didn't.
Yeah. Kind of stupid on their part.
Yeah. So, like, the difference though is between them, and Haruhi points this out in this one episode, because they get separated. So she was with Hikaru, and she points out to Hikaru that when they're together, yeah, they act pretty much the same, but when they're apart, Kaoru's nicer, while Hikaru kind of gets worse.
Hikaru does get worse without Kaoru, yeah.
Yeah, he's the more devious and scheming one, and Hikaru, he does have a lot of that, don't get me wrong, but he's less, I guess, malicious about it when he's on his own.
Mm-hmm.
But, so a big, like, driving point in their arc is Hikaru is very into Haruhi. It's actually kind of cute, some of the stuff he does. But, and in the manga, Kaoru likes her too, but
in the anime,
he gives up on that because Haruhi, well, he knows that Hikaru likes her more, and he thinks that they'd be better for each other, so he kind of backs out, like, of that early on.
Mm-hmm.
And in the anime, he might kind of like her, but it's never really called attention to, so I can't confidently say, but there are definite signs that Hikaru likes her. Like, as I said, when they get separated, he acts like through events that aren't like that are kind of beyond her control. He gets very close to her chest, and he gets all embarrassed about it.
Mm-hmm.
And Haru, she's kind of embarrassed about it too, because of obvious. But she's like, I know it's uncomfortable, but we just gotta deal with it for a few minutes, and then we'll be free. Because they get trapped in like this rope trap, and she has some sewing scissors, so she's cutting them free. And he's like, no, it's okay. Take your time. And they actually go out on a date at this one point because he pissed her off.
Mm-hmm.
He was really, really rude to her and a friend of hers.
And
Because he's not used to sharing the people he cares about, so he cares a lot about her. An old friend of hers shows up, he gets very jealous, so he was rude to them. So to make it up to her, Karu's like, why don't we just spend the day hanging out tomorrow? But then he fakes being sick and makes Hikaru go out with her.
mm-hmm.
So they kind of go on a date, and it's actually all kinds of adorable until he gets jealous and mean again.
And he kind of leaves her, and then
They're like, because she gets nervous because thunder's supposed to start striking, and as we said before, she's afraid of thunder and I guess lightning, but lightning I think is less scary because you can't hear it.
thunder is definitely scarier.
Boom.
Mm-hmm.
But back to the matter at hand. So she wants to take up her friend's offer on a ride back to where they're staying. He gets jealous, and
He kind of leaves her.
then it's thunder and lightning and Tamaki, because he found out in a previous episode, he rips into Hikaru for it, and Hikaru goes after her. And like previous in the episode, Haru, he picked up on the subtle clues that Hikaru was worried about his sick brother. So she's like, why don't we look around and see if there's anything to buy to get for him, Like, just like as a get well present or what have you. And he's like, how did you know I was worried? He's like, I just knew. So he's like, when he finds out about the thunder thing, he's like, how could I have known? And then he like thinks back to like the subtle little hints she was dropping, and you can see the look on his face like, oh,
He's
crap,
like, oh my god,
I
I'm an
messed up.
idiot.
Yeah. So he goes after her, and it's a rather sweet scene
Mm-hmm.
when he finds her. But there are various little things, because again, a big driving point in his arc is accepting, I think he likes her. Because we don't really ever see it, but I think he knows after a certain point, and he never like freaks out about it. So part of it's accepting that and how it changes him, because there is this other person, whether it's romantic or platonic, that he does really care about. Like, she even sits between the brothers in class, and we never see them complaining. So there's this person that he cares about, and he does strive to recognize her needs.
Mm-hmm. Rather than his own needs or the needs of his brother.
Exactly. Right, so that's Hikaru.
Mm-hmm.
So Kaoru, though, he recognizes just about all that's happening around him. Like,
Mm-hmm.
he recognizes Tamaki, seeing them like as a family, and not like, he recognizes it's not a joke. It's like Tamaki's dead serious on that. And Kaoru also recognizes it's fine for now, but it cannot last. He equates it to Cinderella and like, her pumpkin. Her carriage is going to become a pumpkin eventually.
So, Kaoru's definitely got a better grip on things, and he sees things better than Hikaru does, definitely.
But he recognizes that Hikaru likes Haruhi that way.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he even outright says it. That his brother doesn't know yet, because he's kind of dumb, but he's eventually going to figure it out. So
Kaoru's definitely the smarter of the twins, and
well, not really smarter, I think more self-aware.
more self-aware, that is better. And like Dragon said before, he's nicer. At least in the beginning, because
No, the whole time he's nicer. It's just, Hikaru does become nicer too. It's just, they both become more nice as time goes on. So Kaoru is always, I guess, for lack of a better term, in the lead of that.
mm-hmm.
But, so he's not like, Hikaru is, I guess, more important to the plot. But Kaoru is, he's always there as well. He just, I don't know how to explain it. He's like, he eggs on with the teasing, especially of Tamaki, because they both get a kick out of it. But, like we said earlier, he's more aware of all the emotional and relationship issues between club members. So he recognizes it, and he comments about it, and he talks about it. And like we said, he knows, even when his brother doesn't, he knows that Hikaru likes Haruhi. And of the two of them, he is the one that wants to become more of an individual, I think.
Yeah, he definitely does.
So that's pretty much their headspace. So,
on to our
first category, do they work as characters? Well, yeah, they do act like some typical twins.
They're very
They
very
play it up,
close,
though.
and they play it up
because half because the girls like it, and half because I think they just find it funny.
Yeah. Although.
And they are very close.
Yeah, like they end up, like I think they have their own rooms, but sometimes one of them just ends up in the other's bed, which I know that sounds weird, but.
It's like, for their age, yeah, but like, I'm a twin and we used to share a room, and you don't normally do that, especially because I'm a fraternal twin, so my twin is of the opposite gender. So we shared a room for quite a while, and we had no issues with it. Especially back then, we liked being in the same place, and even now, I like being near him. Not as much as before, because our personalities don't always mesh anymore, but I like him being in the vicinity. So, to an extent, I do get that.
But they definitely fit into the setting of the host club, and like Dragon just said, they play off the whole attachment thing because the girls like it, which I did.
And again, for a long time, they were pretty much all the other had, because no one would really recognize them as two people.
They always recognize them as one person, which, again, they're always together. They're twins,
Well,
and they
people
look
couldn't
alike.
tell them apart, and they treated them pretty much the same. So they, for the longest time, only saw each other as important. So that's kind of why they act the way they do.
Mm-hmm.
So, but bottom line is, the way they act is believable. Why they act that way is believable. They have their more more rude moments, and well, obviously we don't really like that.
It's still believable, and even the character who's this nice, sweet person, if they don't have this moment where they show a different side, where they're angry or they can be rude, it's just boring.
Being a jerk.
Then it's just boring.
People are multi-dimensions, so it's nice when fictional characters are that way too.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, they work as characters. So, do they work as characters in their setting?
They do. They definitely enjoy what they do. And everyone who's
They like to pull pranks, they like causing mischief, and that's fun,
Mm-hmm.
I think.
And
They rock the boat.
And does it drive other people around them crazy? Yes, but no one's gonna kill them for it.
No, but it's fun. They bring another comedic element to the series, and I like their interactions with the other characters. They fit in rather well.
Especially their interactions with Haruhi. Those
Yeah,
are
and
definitely
they
some
have their
things.
more whimsical moments on, being rich people and not really quite getting commoner stuff, they act much more normal than the others, I think.
Yeah, because we don't even need to repeat how Tamaki acted.
And even Kyoya, who comes off as normal too, he has more weird moments, like with the police force and, oh yeah, my family owns this building that we happen to be in right now.
Like,
or we own this resort, you people are just testing it for me.
real, it's like, yeah, Kyoya, just don't. Stop.
But the twins are, I think they're the most normal, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So, and again, I like how they interact with the other club members. Especially Haruhi, because the three of them, they're fun to watch.
They are really fun to watch.
Oh,
and they rub it in Tamaki's face.
Oh,
especially
they do.
because they're...
Well, because Tamaki's like, she's my daughter, I have to protect her, and they're corrupting her! And like, they're like, ha, ha, ha.
Because they get to spend more time with her because she's in their class.
Yeah, they're in the same class, and you know, that means, you know, a lot of time together outside of club activities. And Tamaki's jealous of that. And as I said in a previous video, they share a cell phone plan.
And again, the cookie incident.
Oh, we have to talk about that. So
Yes.
someone brought them cookies, a character who may or may not get her own video in the future. Her name is Renge.
Mm-hmm.
So they were eating them, and Haruhi got some like crumbs on her cheek.
And I don't remember which twin it was, but I think it was Hikaru. Don't quote me on that. I don't remember, but
Again, it's been a while since either of us actually
But
watched.
they licked the crumbs off of her cheek.
And she's like, seriously?
You could have just told me there, and I would have wiped them off
But
myself.
she doesn't even react to it, really. But Tamaki freaks the hell out, and he grabs her face, and she's like, why are you letting them do that? And then she accuses him of sexual harassment.
And he goes and he mopes.
Yeah, yeah.
Because that's what he
He's
does.
like, but what I did, what about what they did? It's a very funny scene.
Yes. So, I guess that brings us to our last topic. Do we like them?
Yes, most definitely yes.
Like Dragon said in the beginning.
Like, them and Haruhi are like my favorite characters in the show.
And like Dragon said earlier, they are basically like a flirtier version of Fred and George, which I thought was hilarious because I just see two redhead twins and they're
Which is actually kind of funny because Haruhi's look in the first episode before her makeover often gets referred to, at least on some areas of the internet, as Haruhi Potter. Because her hair does look like Harry's.
It's all disheveled, yeah, and she's got the glasses, so I can understand that.
Oh, Haruhi Potter plus flirtier Fred and George. It fits!
It's so funny.
It is.
But yeah, I mean, I really, and I can understand it was all to be funny, but I just really don't get why those girls like the whole incest play.
I don't know either, but
I mean, like,
dude, there's a fetish for like everything, so.
I know, I mean, Tamaki having Haruhi call him daddy was weird to me, because
Oh, she wouldn't do that. She would not do that.
I mean, he kept referring to himself as daddy, but
like, the most he ever got out of her, which he blew out of proportion, which Kyoya even pointed out, was she did concede that Tamaki was like her dad, but not so much in that he was like a father to her, but more they shared some character traits.
Mhm.
Kyoya points out to him, but he like disregards it. But yeah, again, back to Hikaru and Kaoru. They plus Haruhi are like my favorite characters in the show.
and their interactions with each other are very
And the rest of
funny,
the
and the
cast.
rest of the cast. But yeah, like we said, flirtier Fred and George.
Yep.
Who? How can you not enjoy Fred and George?
I don't know. So yes, I think that's it.
So thank you guys so much for watching. We really hope you enjoyed Ouran month, and
we'll see you in February. So in February, because it is the month of Valentine's Day, that's going to be the month that we've decided we're going to do shipping videos. So we're going to pick 4 pairings from, we're going to pick 4 individual ones, not from each whatever we've talked about, but just 4 in general. One video is probably going to be dedicated to each pairing, although we might be amendable to a change in that.
We're gonna
if we're asked.
we're gonna at least try not to be biased. We are gonna talk about couples that are not all of our favorites, but we're basically gonna talk about their interactions. Do they work? Do they not work?
Yeah, and keep in mind, we've gone over this in our rules video, because we did talk about this. If there's no chemistry, in our opinion at least, because that is very subjective, or if there's no actual proof behind it, despite how popular a pairing may be, we cannot say it's likely.
Yeah, so
previously we did say this, but I'm just going to reiterate, and I'll probably reiterate it in our next video as well. Let's say it's a same-sex couple, but person A in it has never ever shown any romantic inclination toward their same sex.
Yeah, perfect example, Iron Man and Captain America.
Yeah, Tony likes girls.
Yeah, and
he's very much into girls, and he's never shown interest in men, not in that way.
And we know that Cap was in love with Peggy.
Yeah, and so we can't say it's likely pairing. I'm not saying anything about it, but just in general, we could say a pairing like that might have chemistry, or it might not. But if there's no proof behind it that one or both members in that pairing like their same sex, gender, whatever you want to label it, we can't say it's likely.
Mm-hmm.
So just please bear that in mind, and if any of you watching this want to recommend a pairing that we talk about, please do so, and we'll probably involve it if we can.
Yep. And don't forget, you guys can follow me on Twitter and Tumblr. It's the same as the channel name, Fire Dragon and Water Fairy. So if you have any suggestions, you can tweet at me, or you can reblog something to me on our Tumblr, or just comment down below.
Alright, so we'll see you in February. For those of you who like Kingdom Hearts, get ready. Number 3 is about to come out at the time of the filming of this. So, enjoy that.
Bye, guys.
Bye.